Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Tim Pandajis here with your Atlantic Tropical Update. We're still talking about Major Hurricane Sam, and we'll be talking about Sam for a long time as it's a slow mover. It'll be a long duration event. Today is September 26, 2021. Sam is a little bit stronger, 150-mile-an-hour winds. High-end Category 4 storm. You can see the Saffir-Simpson scale here, how we gauge the intensity of tropical systems based on their wind speeds. To get up to a Cat 5, 157 or higher, and it's not outside the realm of possibility that we see this strengthen a little bit more. Look at how rapidly the clouds are rotating around that center of circulation, that pinhole eye that now is a little bit smaller, around 10 miles in diameter. The strength has increased, 150-mile-an-hour winds. Pressures come down a bit too. So now in terms of maximum sustained wind speeds, it's tied for the strongest storm this season so far with Ida, which was also a Category 4 and peaked at 150-mile-an-hour winds. I'm not so sure that we've seen Sam peak just yet. We've had two other major hurricanes, Cat 3 Larry and Grace, that both peaked at 125-mile-an-hour winds. So here's a look at the eye right now. You can see it's warmed and it's cleared. We've got extremely cold cloud tops wrapping all the way around this system, encapsulating the eye, protecting it, allowing it to maintain its strength and intensify even more. Now, the eye diameter right now at last measurement was around 10 nautical miles. The average size is 20 to 40. And typically when we see smaller eye sizes, that's a more compact system and stronger winds are certainly found. And we're finding winds 150, gusts even higher than that. Now, it's over about, say, 750 miles from any land, and it's looking likely it is not going to be impacting any land, at least within the next 5 days. It should spare the northern Leeward Islands. So we've had aircraft flying in and out of Sam for the last 24 to 36 hours, almost constantly in the system. And this is the most recent aircraft recon mission, heading into the storm, just about to enter the outermost bands of Sam, and then do a reconnaissance mission, finding if there's any stronger winds within that system right now to warrant maybe an upgrade later on this evening come 11 o'clock. Visible satellite imagery here. We're seeing the sun go down on Sam once again today. And look at the outflow from this system. It is ventilating properly. Hurricanes, tropical systems are vertically built heat engines. They inflow at the surface, outflow aloft. It ventilates, it breathes, it's vertically stacked. Now, wind shear, we talk about this a lot with storm systems, is that when wind shear is involved in a tropical system, it tilts it over and forces it to not ventilate properly. We are seeing an excellent example of perfect ventilation here. You can see the outflow cirrus all around the system in all directions, and moisture feeds coming up from the south. In terms of any dry air impeding any further intensification, I really don't see it. There is dry air around, but none of it is getting wrapped into the overall circulation. So here's the latest track update from the Hurricane Center, keeping it at Cat 4 right on through Wednesday afternoon. So that's a long duration Category 4 down to a Cat 3, still a major hurricane here by Friday afternoon, 125-mile-an-hour winds. Now it's going to clear most likely the Leeward Islands, but there's Bermuda right there to the north, outside of the cone for now. But if you extrapolate where this would be going off to the north, likely going to be cause for concern in Bermuda by next weekend. Here's a look at the tracks again. These were yesterday's spaghetti plots, and this gave us our first boost in confidence that we'd see a miss of the Leeward Islands. And then look at what happened today. Continues to pull it farther to the north and east. Still looking likely that some maybe tropical storm force winds make it up and over the northern islands there. Here's the probability of seeing those winds, 39 miles per hour or greater. Again, 10, 20, maybe 30% chance of seeing those. So really going to be dodging a bullet here as it moves mainly off to the northeast of the islands there. Here's the comparison between the global models, the GFS and the European in red, GFS in yellow. Not much change. It's a slow mover over the next several days, maintaining its strength, if not getting a little bit stronger. Then it starts to take more of that northerly pull by the middle of the week. Here's Wednesday night. Into Thursday, we start to see it lift northwards. And if you can point there was Bermuda. The European has it passing just to the east. The GFS really kind of taking that loop going north and then northeast rather quickly, passing well to the east of Bermuda. We hope to see the European get on board with that and not have to deal with that in Bermuda. Here's a look at the wind speeds right now, the tropical wind categories. as estimated by the models right now. It is a Category 4, so this is downplaying it a little bit, seeing Category 2, maybe Category 3 winds in here, but right now it's categorized as a Category 4. Expected to strengthen a little bit in terms of those wind speeds being felt outside of the center in that northeast quadrant here. Seeing some of those reds there in the southeast quadrant. And then as we go a little bit farther out in time by Friday, so 5 days out, still packing winds at least of Category 3 strength. So my final thoughts here. Higher confidence that Sam will miss the Leeward Islands. May be cause for concern in Bermuda by next weekend. May become a rare Category 5 hurricane. We're talking about Sam here. Now, the last Category 5s in the Atlantic was 2 years ago. In 2019, we had Dorian and then Lorenzo. Lorenzo was just briefly a Cat 5 for 3 hours. Dorian, if you remember when it sat over the Bahamas, was a Cat 5 for over a day. Now, we've got more tropical waves that look likely to develop. In fact, there are 3 waves. One that's the remnants of what once was Tropical Storm Peter that may redevelop here, 30% chance in the short and long term. Another wave right behind Sam, 0% chance in 2 days, 50% in 5. Now, this wave I'm not all that concerned about right now because when you have a major storm like this, remember we talked about the outflow, that imparts wind shear on any storms in its general vicinity. So if it does develop, it'll be short-lived and really have to go up against that wind shear from Sam as it builds off to the north. Now, behind that, another wave, 10% chance within 2 days, about a 60% chance within 5. If you remember yesterday, we've got 2 names left on the list, the original list. And then we go over to not the Greek alphabet, but the supplemental list, which is another 21 names. I think it's highly likely we get into that supplemental list name since we have 2 months, over 2 months left in the hurricane season. All right, that's the latest update. If it does, in fact, peak at a Cat 5, we'll do another video for you. But until next time, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.